got these from pitching. I'm a frisbee king.
What's up, disc golf people? This is Jacked Up with School of Disc Golf and Team Infinite, and I am joined by founder, owner of Idio Sports, Craig Kitchens. Craig,
Hey,
thanks for joining me today.
Yeah,
Or I
happy
guess
to
I'm
be
joining
here.
you since this is your booth, right?
Yeah, I mean, hey, we all come together over disc golf.
We
so
certainly
we're
do.
joining
We
each
certainly
other.
do. We are here. I'm doing a few of these, getting as much to you guys as I can here at the Champions Cup Disc Golf Major, semi-close to me since it's in actually my state in California. It's been an absolutely terrific week for competition.
Yes.
How's it been for Idio Sports?
Yeah, man, it's been great. We're a SoCal company, so Stockton's always kind of felt like our home stop. We used to have Goat Hill, at least, which was a Silver Series, and then we had De La, which
Goat Hill a little closer to you, right?
Goat Hill's very close to us, and they took everything from us. So now
I
we're
know.
here.
We're hoping to get it back. At least
Yeah.
one of those two, De La, or we got to get something on the Silver Series, right?
So yeah, we covet this event. We love being here.
Cool. You know, Craig, I remember the first time I met you, or we talked on the phone, I think, and you told me a little bit about your story. And
So I graduated in 2009 from trade school, basically, with a degree in computer design. And I went into the engineering field, doing a lot of like mechanical design plans, electrical design, layout stuff. Very cut and dry, right? Very like by the numbers. And I never really got along with that. Always like sort of more the free form organic design stuff. And after years of just working in that industry and cutting my teeth on the office and design environment, my fiance and I, we moved up to Portland area, where I continued my education, and I was working on transferring to the U of O for they have an industrial design program there. It's basically, run by Nike. It's Shoe City up there.
Oh, yes, of course.
So when I found disc golf, it was in SoCal, but I really latched on in Oregon because it's just a different beast up there. The courses are incredible. The organization around it is amazing. And I went to my first big tour event, which was Beaver State Fling.
Gotcha.
And just being like a design-minded kind of gearhead, I had equipment for everything. I was, looking at, like we see here, all the vendors and the players that walk around, and that whole experience was so motivating. And so I was just in that place where I was shopping gear also. Like I was a customer of the vendors, right? And to my surprise, there was really no shoe or ideology around what made a good disc golf shoe. Everybody used what they sort of just felt comfortable with. And that's where my wheels started turning. And I took on this project as something that I could do on the off season, because it rains a lot up there. You spend a lot of time indoors. I just took it on as a personal project that maybe I could use towards this schooling eventually when I got there. I just took it like one step at a time, and eventually got it to the point where I felt like there was a legitimate need for what I was working on. And I put all of my chips in, and cashed out 401k and maxed out my credit cards and everything to get a sample made. Went the length, took the step, and just chased it down, and here we are today.
Different type of disc golf pioneer.
Yeah.
And you haven't looked back since, right?
No, absolutely not.
100%. This is all you're doing. This is it, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's been quite a journey. I did have some business experience before. I ran a restaurant, owned a restaurant. My first business was a mobile car detailing business that I started when I was younger. And I did that through my tech school period.
Got your entrepreneurial chops in, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was called College Kid Car Wash.
Nice.
That was fun. But those experiences and everything I did, I think kind of just really shaped my journey and built me into what this brand is today. Gave me a lot of exposure, and I love working for myself. I love chasing down ideas and making products. And I'm just, never look back. Stoked to be here.
Awesome. And I was very excited personally when you came out with a disc golf high top, just because it was a second shoe, which is really neat. Now they have a new, and even beyond the brawler high tops, they have a new model of the Evo here. And they, in addition, I think, in addition, I'm sure you can tell us about a bunch of design things like the material and the sole and stuff like that. I think they also look really, really sharp.
Yeah.
You know, I can't. It's like one of those art things. I don't know what I like, but I know when I see it.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell these look really cool. I can't tell any difference really.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the lighter overlay or something like that.
It's a combination of everything that comes together in a certain way that just kind of sparks an emotion, right?
Yeah. And I'm gonna ask Craig a question that's such a softball. It's a rhetorical question at this point, and that is, you know, besides the disc, what's the most important piece of equipment when you're actually playing disc golf? I mean, come on, people. There can only be one answer here.
Hands down, it's the footwear.
For all you people that were like Craig that say, oh man, I want that specialized disc golf bag. You know, I want that specialized little stick that extends out so I can poke stuff out of trees.
Yeah.
If you're going to go down all of those routes and you're not going to look at the specialized disc golf on the market that's been out for, I don't know, 5-6 years now.
Well, we launched in Kickstarter in 21, and we've been delivering products since 2022. And so really about 3 years in the market only. Yeah.
3 years on the market, and they're taking off. You guys, I'm sure you did some brisk business here at the tournament this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing more and more of them out there, but everybody at home, both because somebody that works as hard on doing something for the entire industry deserves to have, everyone should try it at least once, check them out, because I did, and I gotta say, I was especially a skeptic about the high tops, just because I thought, I knew from 20 years ago that I did not want to disc golf in these heavy hiking boots that laced up around my ankles.
I was the same.
So I was a little bit traumatized or something. And I recently played the Enduro Bowl at De La Viega, 58 straight holes without stopping. We're going for about 7 hours, about 7 or 8 miles of hiking. And my feet were not fatigued at all. They weren't sore when they took them off. And these things are just lighter than you can ever imagine in terms of look. So how they're durable the way they are and that light, I'm not so sure. But I know, man, I got my disc golf shoes now.
Yeah. It's an experience when you put the Syncrasy on for the first time. It's kind of like, and you throw in them, you're like, oh, that's what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah, I mean, they're comfortable walking around like any other shoes, but you really notice the difference when you're playing on the tee pad. I notice I play at De La Viega, which has a lot of uneven terrain, and I'm able to get a very stable stance because these lugs are, to me, they're kind of different. The way it's a flat bottom and they stand out individually, they really seem to make a difference.
Yeah.
Is there anything about the new model of Evo that you might want to tell people about? Anything you changed that might be of particular interest?
Since the initial model, the Kickstarter model came out, and we didn't have any starting point really. You know, the starting point was the research that I had done previously before making the shoe to sort of like figure out what my design parameters were going to be. But there's so many variables, like the hardness of rubber, the type of rubber, what the upper material should be, because there was nobody before me to sort of use as a base set, an example. We had to kind of try to come up with all the right stuff the first time.
I believe they call that being on the bleeding edge of technology, right?
That's right. Yeah.
There's the leading edge, and then when you're out there, it's kind of like the first person that said, that grabbed a plant and said, this looks like it might not kill me. There's only one way to find out, right?
That's right.
So just by virtue of it's the second go around, there's tons that you learn from the first time, as well as you did in having to pull stuff out of thin air, saying, I think this is going to be the best.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, of course, everything's a little bit better because you know what materials work, all that.
Yeah. And the first iteration were awesome. Even on the first generation Syncrasies, our warranty return out of our lifetime sales on that product was just over 2%. I mean, it was very, very small, which is an industry basically an industry standard amongst a lot of the big companies. So we were very proud of that coming out the gate with a product that we'd never built before.
I have somebody happily wearing my first pair
Do
because
you?
by the time you sent me new ones,
Yeah.
they were in
You're like,
fine
well,
shape.
these are still good.
Yeah, I
but
mean
gotta
the
test them.
lugs maybe a
Yeah.
little bit worn down, but not enough to matter.
Yeah, that you can still get out and play. Yeah. And so we learned a lot from that first pair, and we kind of kept tweaking without telling the public about it. Well, let's adjust this, adjust that, right? And then so finally, when we got sort of enough data to almost relaunch the next generation, the Evos, is what we updated on that was one, the rubber compound and the hardness of the rubber compound, and we created a dual zone sort of hardness here, where the front of the shoe is from this flex point forward, including the toe cap.
Mm-hmm.
That's all a harder compound than the back of the shoe.
Wow! How do you blend it like that? Is there a blend point where it's half and half? Or?
Yeah, there's so what that little line right there. They call that a color dam.
Oh,
and
right.
you can, it's a separation in the mold, so you can actually kind of split things up there.
Interesting.
They call it a color dam because typically you'll do one color here and then you'll do
mostly
another
done for cosmetic reasons.
Correct. Yeah, but we figured, well, we can put two different compounds as long as they hang out together and will bind. We're good. So,
and that's what I love about hearing that little story right there is that's something where other shoe designers have never had a cause to even consider
Correct.
having the different hardness.
Yeah, right.
And you used a technology that was designed for something else to make it more of a disc golf shoe, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's something that like an outside brand is not going to do for us because it's it doesn't serve their purpose, right?
Of course not. We're dropping the bucket in terms of we're like probably not even a side consideration because if you're not wearing disc golf shoes, you're wearing running shoes or hiking shoes for disc golf. They're not disc golf shoes. They're not going to have all these features. And I think you told me for those that want to think about sustainability in anything they buy, didn't you change your waterproof membrane?
Yeah, the membrane's been updated.
More sustainable.
Yeah, we were using an in-house membrane, and now we're using a membrane from a German company called Sympatex.
Okay.
They're basically a Gore-Tex competitor, and it's definitely more waterproof. It's lightweight, and the big thing with that is it's more breathable. So you'll still feel light on your feet, but being a fully waterproof shoe, and we've got one sitting in water over here all weekend long.
Nice.
We keep paper in it to pull it out and prove that that there's nothing getting in.
I mean, all I've done at day law is just stand in puddles for 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, I mean, it gets nasty, and waterproofing is a big deal for disc golfers and a very big selling point when talking to a lot of people. Yeah. So that's one thing that we wanted to make sure that we touched on and improved.
And I can tell people too, disc golfers, you all know, our shoes wear in very common and predictable places. And for sometimes just this toe cap right here might be well worth the money. Oh, yeah. Simply for anybody who really has a wear problem, there's nothing worse than having a perfectly good pair of shoes that as a whole it worn in one little place. Yeah. And suddenly, what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, durability alone is huge. You're spending a lot of money on shoes, and at $135, there's more expensive shoes out there giving you less.
Yep.
So you're able to improve the lifespan of that shoe, divide your money by a bigger number, and you get a smaller number, right? Yep. So the lifespan of the shoe versus the dollar value is way better than a lot of the other shoes that people are wearing out there. Plus you're getting full waterproof, plus you're getting all the other technologies that's built into this for disc golfers.
I personally believe that there's a tipping point out there. Disc golfers are like any other consumer. You all and we all can tend to be, sort of into the trends. And I think there's this point where if enough videos are seen on the course and people are saying, why are they wearing those shoes? Because we're grown people, and yet we still might be wanting that swoosh or that something else on the foot. Me personally, I could care less about that stuff. I care about how the product performs, and I'm just absolutely loving the Idios.
Yeah.
So Craig, I thank you so much for taking the time to talk and share with the viewers, going a little bit deeper about the man behind the shoe.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming by and letting me share the story. So.
You got it. So along with Craig here at Champions Cup, I'm Jack Tupp with School of Disc Golf and Team Infinite. We will catch you later. Bye.